Hi everyone, it's Liesl. I want to just share these three little booklets with you. Faux leather journal covers have become so popular again. They were quite popular about, 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they seem to be experiencing a resurgence. And I just wanted to share these with you. I made them probably 4 years ago, and I just want to run through one or two things that I found when I was making them. I made them in different colors. I was trying out different types of cardstock to see which of them worked better with the whole glycerine water system. And they were just papers that were available locally, so there isn't even really much point in me telling you what I used. And I also obviously wanted to play with a bit of color. Now, this is the first one that I made, and when I made it, I embossed the cover, obviously, and my embossing folder is the sort of standard size, not a larger one, so I could only emboss, because this is one piece that goes right around, I couldn't emboss the whole thing, so just the front is embossed. But what worried me when I made it, and it's completely plain on the inside, so I'm not going to bother to run through that, but what worried me at the time was the spine, and I felt that the spine might be a little compromised because of the scrunching treatment and everything that the paper gets. So what I did was I used some more of the faux leather paper, and I cut a spine piece, which I then, you can see there, used a decorative punch, which you don't have to do, but I used that to add over my book. This was the first one I made, so you can see that there is some scrunching there, and here some, I think this was Tyvek. It might even have been double-sided tape where I forgot to, no it wasn't, because this is glued down, so probably a piece of Tyvek. But you can see, far from perfect, but that was the thought that I had. So the next one I made was this blue one, which is very enthusiastically gilded around the edge. Please ignore that. But here you can see, once again, I put a spine over it, and this worked rather well. It's definitely strengthened the booklet. It still opens quite nicely. It's still got that nice elasticity that you get with the faux leather paper. And, you know, it just adds a bit of detail and gives you a bit more comfort. And, of course, it hides your binding, because I bound the booklet first for both of them and then covered it with this little spine. So just a thought on what you can do. And then the next thing I tried, and here you can see this one is really enthusiastically scrunched. It was a piece of cardstock that actually really took to the whole sort of scrunching up rather well. And I made a fold over like this. And to strengthen this one, I took some decorative cardstock and I treated that with the whole faux leather glycerine and water treatment as well. And then when it was dry and nice and pliable, I glued it to the plain cardstock that I had used for the outside. And instead of embossing, I inked with some distress ink to catch a few of the ridges, just to give the cover a bit more detail, so it looks a bit more worn and leathery, although it's green. No surprise there. And you can see that it's really done very well. This is a piece of Fab Scraps paper from a very old range, which I love, and it has worked really well, and it just gives you that extra, and I put 3 signatures in here as well, it gives you that extra strength and durability that sometimes one loses a little bit when you treat your paper roughly to get the faux leather look. So these are just 3 little books and some thoughts, nothing particularly earth-shattering, but I thought I would share them. I found them on my shelf the other day and realized that I thought I had something to say. So I hope that helps any of you who are considering or who are playing with faux leather journal covers. If you are running into those kinds of problems, then these are some of the things that you could do to help give your books a little bit more durability. So as always, thanks for watching, and until we speak again, bye-bye.